Hello there, and welcome to your Crystal Sea Tarot, October 2025, Love and Relationship Reading number 3. All right, let's shuffle these cards for you. Interesting. Let's see here. All right, I'm going to flip this around so it's facing you. Okay, so we have past, present, future right here. So in the past, you have Queen of Swords reversed. So queens are near the end of the series. You've got 1 through 10, and then Page, Knight, Queen, King. So really, you can't get more evolved than a queen and a king. So the Queen of Swords, when she's upright, swords are air. So that's everything up here in the air. Our mentality and our communication. If Queen of Swords is upright, she's someone who is able to speak eloquently and speak her truth, and people understand and accept her, and everyone respects her. They have respectful communication with her. If she gives some kind of orders, they respect and help do that her bidding. And queens, when they're in a throne, cool. They're in charge. People respect that. Everything is all good with that. But when we have a reverse queen, that throne starts crushing her. And instead of her wearing the throne is wearing her. So this would be a queen that isn't able to really express themselves that much, or isn't able to call things out as they should. When we have upright swords, we are good at calling things out. We're good at telling people no. We're good at setting boundaries. And when we have reverse swords, those things go out the window. We have a hard time saying no. We feel guilty for no reason. And we have a really hard time setting boundaries, or we just don't set boundaries. And to be the queen of not setting boundaries is not a good place to be, because this means that you're really good at taking things on and being in charge, but you may not be respected for that. You may not be getting any help with that. So therefore, that throne is kind of crushing you. This having to do with mentality and communication as well. Would have to do with, this could be a time in the past where you did not feel like you were necessarily mentally healthy. You could be somebody who was picking yourself apart, or had, voices of the past, negative voices of the past in your ear that you kept listening to. Queen of Swords reversed would be someone who maybe is too hard on themselves. Somebody who feels overly guilty about things. Somebody who will just take things on rather than say no or call things out. So if this is a past relationship, this would be something where you weren't respected. You weren't being able to be received well. Nobody was listening to you. You weren't able to set boundaries. You had a lot of stuff on your shoulders and no help. If you are in a current relationship, this would be that you may have had some difficulties in this relationship at the beginning, because, it's great when we start new relationships. That's an exciting time, but sometimes we can bring some baggage with us. And that's kind of the feeling that I get from this reverse Queen of Swords. Your other cards are very happy and upright. So it kind of feels like I came into a relationship, if you're in a relationship, I came into this relationship kind of with some cobwebs from the past, where the person that was really mean to me or abusive towards me, they were still kind of in my head a little bit. Where, I'll just say, when you've been in a lot of bad relationships and then you get into a good one finally, it is a trip. It is very trippy. And you're like, this is so weird. This is so weird that people are listening to me or helping me or doing their part. I'm used to doing everything by myself. So that's kind of the feeling I get from this Queen of Swords reversed. If you're in a relationship right now, it does seem like a good relationship, but there may have been some work that you had to do at the beginning of it. So presently, we have what's known as the marriage card. So if you're in a relationship, it seems like this is going well and might be a good foundation for you. the Four of Wands. So 4 is going to be that foundation number. And if we've got 4 cornerstones that are nice and strong and sturdy, we can build our lives on top of it. Wands are going to be the element of fire. So that is what fires you up. So that's your spirit, your will, your energy, your motivation, your belief in yourself, what you're passionate about, what you want to pour your energy into, and what excites you and kind of turns you up. So 4 of Wands, this is the marriage card because this is, we have a great foundation in our energy. Wands are also energy. And so now we can build something on top. So if this is a situation where you're not in a relationship, you may have had a hard time setting boundaries before. You may have been through some bad stuff in the past with relationships where you weren't listened to, respected, not able to speak your truth, not able to set boundaries, all kinds of bad stuff that happens when we're in toxic relationships. And when we get out of those toxic relationships, we have got to work on our own foundations. So that's kind of what this is saying. If you're someone who's not in a relationship right now, you're very much focused on your foundations because your other 2 cards are 4s, which is that foundation energy. So, if you're not in a relationship, you're getting a nice solid foundation in your own energy, in your will, in your belief in yourself. This kind of says to me, I used to be someone who gave away my power and not anymore. So, let's move on to our last card. We have 4 of Cups upright in the past. Or, I'm sorry, in the future. So 4, again, we're in that foundation aspect. Cups are water, so love, feelings, emotions, emotional strength, emotional health. And when we have an upright cup, we can overflow with love. Everything is all good. This guy does look a little bit bored with the arms crossed, but that says to me, if you are not in a relationship, that you're trying to get your emotional foundation. And getting your emotional foundation as you're healing from past bad relationships, it takes some time. And the fact that you've already been working on your foundations is absolutely helpful. I would say it's easiest to work on our physical foundation because the physical world, we can change like that. Boom, I moved that. Change something in the physical world, right? Changing things in our mental world, in our emotional world, in our spiritual world, those things take a lot of extra effort because it's not as easy as a physical thing. We can't just physically pick something up and move it or go move to a new apartment or whatever. So this card is kind of making me think that you're working on yourself and you might be kind of frustrated with that process, but give yourself time. Please don't rush this process. And please don't jump back into relationships because that's the other thing that's kind of coming up because it's the boredom card is you might be kind of thinking, well, I'm kind of bored being single and maybe I should jump back into a relationship, but we may still be working on our foundations. We may still need to get all of those things just so that we can really make sure that when we build on top of it, it's sturdy and stable and safe and makes us feel good. So 4 of Cups in the future here is kind of saying don't rush things. Don't rush back into a relationship. Take this time, take this me time, keep working on yourself. It can be boring sometimes to work on ourselves, but I promise you there's real work happening. There's real progress happening. So give it that breathing room and give it that time so that you can move through this period and then be able to reflect on it and grow as you look back and see how far you've come. Or get that perspective on, wow, I used to be like this and now I have my own emotional foundation. I'm not giving my power away. I know how to set boundaries now because I have upright cups. So this is huge progress for you. So don't discredit it. Don't think nothing's happening. You are making progress. If you are in a relationship, I would say that you came into the relationship, maybe we had to work some stuff out at the beginning, or we were carrying a little bit of baggage and things that we needed to heal from prior relationships, and that you have been in a good relationship now and can do those things. So when we get to this 4 of Cups in the future, what it's kind of making me think is the feeling is bringing up for me is, when we've been through a lot of trauma and a lot of toxic relationships, it can be really foreign to be in a non-toxic relationship or in a healthy relationship. And it can kind of, again, bring up an element of boredom. And it's kind of boredom in a sense that you're like, there's no problems right now. Nothing's on fire. Shouldn't something be on fire? Like, shouldn't there be some catastrophe that I have to look out for? And no, because you're in a healthy relationship and you got 2 foundation cards. So that means things are actually chill, nice and solid. So don't think that this is a boring relationship or not a good relationship. There may just be an element of you're calming down from being kind of hyper vigilant in toxic relationships. I think that's something that happens a lot when we go from a toxic relationship to a non-toxic relationship. It feels weird. There's something that can be almost a little bit exciting about toxic relationships because there's always some shit going down. You know what I mean? And then when we're in a non-toxic relationship, it can feel a little boring because we're like, well, shouldn't there be some big thing blowing up in my face that then we have to have makeup sex over? No, you can just have a nice chill foundation. And so let's lean into that. Let's get comfortable in this nice chill foundation. This is maybe a new landscape for us, and we just need to get acquainted with what it's like to be in a chill relationship now. So don't dismiss this. Don't think that this is just going to be boring. I think there's just an aspect of we need to remember not everything is on fire right now, and that's a good thing. Let's be nice and calm and get to build something finally now that we have this great foundation. It looks like in the past you might have been the foundation, and maybe you know how to operate in that place, and it's weirder to operate in a place where you're only part of the foundation and the other person is part of the foundation. That can be a very foreign concept to those of us that have had all shit relationships. So if you're in a good relationship now, let's just stay here and see how it goes, because this may actually be super healthy and we're just not used to it. Okay? All right. I think things are going well for you. Be proud of your progress and just keep moving forward. All right? Thank you. Bye-bye.